saying that they're going to put a plane back in the air that's currently not legally able to fly still. So did you hear about this? That American Airlines is now saying Boeing 737 Max will be back in the air on December 29th, pending FAA approval. What are your thoughts on this? Just boom, 2 words.
Let's go.
Let's go. Why is it let's go?
I'm ready, man. If it's clear, I really am in the boat of, if they're saying it's okay, there's going to be a lot of scrutiny on this stuff. Ultimately, there's going to be so many extra measures that are going to be followed on stuff like this when they had so much bad publicity, just to make sure it doesn't fail. Otherwise, you just lose all kind of, confidence in the thing. Otherwise, so I think it's, if they say it's ready to go, I believe it. I don't want to be the first person on this thing, but they put a couple in the air. I think I'm feeling okay. It's like the first person. You don't want to be the first person on the roller coaster after it fails, but once they do a couple of days of testing, I think you're good to go.
Yeah.
Take this point.
I think the biggest vote of confidence to date is less the FAA saying that it's pending currently the review, as well as the FAA chief flew it, but that the European Aviation Commission said you're good to go. And they were actually the first ones to ground the plane. They were the ones being the most cautious back when the two crashes unfortunately happened. So I think that is a huge step just based on that, because it's, we as Americans just we live in our US bubble, but they do fly and sell these planes in Europe, in Africa, as well as other parts of the world. And it's huge that they gave the green light. And, we're seeing the FAA with, I keep wanting to say FFA, I don't know why. We're seeing the FAA currently having its revised training documents open for public comment. Since it is a public agency, the public does have the ability to go and comment on anything that it puts out like that during the public commentary period, which ends on November 2nd. But American Airlines said, nah, we're not waiting for that. October 24th, book your flights. We'll let you know it's a 737 Max, but we are putting those routes on the air, or, in the air. And I largely think, even though we probably won't see travel even close to back by that point, especially because it's going to be right after the holidays, I imagine it's an effort to lower their cash burn on a daily basis, because it's a more fuel efficient plane. That was the reason people were buying them hand over fist.
Yeah. No, I know people are just H to get back on planes, but they're going to have to wait a little bit, I think. Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a good strategy to kind of get that.
Well,
That set
I think largely the average flyer doesn't care what plane they're on. They care if their seat isn't gross and has enough space. They care that right now they're not going to catch COVID on the plane, that everyone's wearing their mask, and they care that they're going to get there in a safe manner. And that was the whole, obviously, knocking point, is that no one trusted the last very, very important and really the only thing that matters point, when discussing those 3 points. But yeah, I think once they're proven they're safe, the software patches and system redesigns are good to go, and that the pilots can take back over the plane, which was, part of the whole issue was why they crashed. They were literally having to fight the autopilot system, which crashed them. Yeah, I think it'll be good, and because it's not going to just benefit American Airlines. I will admit I'm not a fan of American Airlines, so I think though you're going to see Southwest follow suit. You're going to see United follow suit, and all the other airlines that do have these planes currently sitting and collecting dust, rain, and snow on the tarmacs across the U.S. and world.
Yeah, that's usually what happens, right? I mean, once one makes the move, they've got to compete. They've got to, say, we're doing the
Yes
same
and
thing they
yes
are.
and no.
They took the plunge, and we're going with it.
So yes and no. I think this is less about competition. I really do think it's about cash burn, lowering cash burn. America. It's not a secret. American and United have the worst balance sheets in the U.S. aerospace industry. So are you going to see Southwest rush to get these planes back in the air? It depends on their cash burn, depends how their progress is going towards lowering that. If they can lower that and let United American take the lead maybe on getting the 737 MAX up in the air and seeing how people are responding to it from a consumer standpoint. And if people are willing to skip the flights that are on that plane still, they can kind of gauge customer behavior on while either booking the plane or being on the plane. Does anybody freak out when they get on the plane and realize it's 737 MAX? Hopefully not, but I think this is more so a cash burn rather than a competition play, not play, but
that's why American's probably the first one. It was either them or United, most likely.
Yeah, and I wasn't surprised to see it was American.
Yeah.
So just I don't know. It's not fun to be in the airline industry now, even though TSA levels did just tick back above 1 million travelers for the first time. So that's good. We're slowly, right as cases are spiking though. So we'll see it.
Right.
Hopefully we can lower those and get travel back to, back to where it needs to be. I just feel for not necessarily the airlines. I feel for the airline employees that are caught in the middle of this. I feel for the tourist destinations and the people that are employed there and run small businesses there that are relying on it. Because, God, what a hellish year.
Yeah, no joke. Not much more to be said on that.
Yeah, I know. And on that uplifting note, thank you. Yeah, thanks for listening to this episode of Cordy Learnings. Do all what we tell you to do, and every other podcast tells you to do. Like, rate, review, subscribe, all of it. We will see y'all next time.